The training we are going to ask students to do is called Schoology Student Basics, and we need to get this into your homerooms so that they can complete it in their homerooms. So to begin with, I'm going to ask you to go to Groups, and of Groups, I'm going to ask you to choose the Faculty group. And when you open up that faculty group, you should see a couple of links, but on the bottom there is a Schoology Student Basics folder on there. And you're going to go over to the little gear on the right hand side. You're going to click on that gear and say Add to Course. Then all of your courses should appear, and you want to find your homeroom, and you're going to click on that, and it says, do you want to put it in a folder? And no, you don't need to put it in a folder because it's already in its own folder. So you can leave that, and then you can click on Add. And if I go to my course, so I choose Courses, and I find my homeroom and I open that up, then I'm going to see that folder in here. If you remember, we talked about this being a student completion folder so that they need to complete one item before they can move on to the next. And so it says must complete on here, and they have to do these in order, and they have to do the requirements for each one. So for example, when they get to the assignment, they're going to actually have to upload an assignment before they can move on. And when they get to the discussion, they're actually going to have to post before they can move on. And finally, in the testing, the very last one, they have to score a 14 out of 19 in order to complete it, but they can take the assessment up to 5 different times. One thing I'd like you to double check just to make sure when you copy it over, I'd like you to open up that folder number 6 and go to your Test Your Knowledge again, which is that assessment, and click on the gear and make sure that if you check Edit, make sure the Submissions is Enable. Sometimes when you copy them over, it changes to Disable, so make sure the Submissions is on Enable, and then save the changes for that. Now, you'll also notice that there's a student progress up here that you will see as the teacher, and if you click on that, you can see all of your students and see what kind of progress they've made on the folder. So if you remember that you're going to introduce this in your morning meeting, and then by 11 o'clock you're hoping that all of these are done. So you can check that out before your 11 o'clock meeting to see how far they've progressed. I've also read that if a student gets like hung up on something, meaning they said they completed it, but it didn't show up, usually they need to refresh on their part, but you can always click this Recheck Student Progress, and as it says, it forces the system to recheck their progress and to make sure that it's accurate. So that's just a little tidbit on that. Good luck.